Now, a little earlier in the video on array basics, I mentioned the different types of arrays, and one of them that I mentioned was the two-dimensional array. Now, this is also known as rectangle arrays, and I'm not going to go into a lot of depth here in this course, but I just want you to be aware of what they are and how you can use them. Now, if you watch the videos on using an array and array data, then I've kind of given you some hints and some ideas and some programming examples on how you can use these things and how you can see what's in them. Now, the best way that I know to describe a two-dimensional array or a rectangle array is just an array on steroids. We're going to now, instead of just storing data like we did in a single dimension array where we just stored a string of values, and this of course can be any kind of data type we want. We can even store objects in arrays. But a two-dimensional array is where we have rows and columns. This can get kind of interesting, but you can store a lot of data and access that data and write that data very, very quickly. So let's take a look at what this looks like. If I execute this command right here, and notice I'm giving it my data type, and this time inside my brackets I put a comma. Instead of a number I put a comma, and this tells it that this is a multi-dimensional array. And then here's the name of my array right here, ML. Then after the equal sign, a new instance of this, and here's where I designate the number of rows and columns. And these are the number of elements. And so I will have 4 columns. Okay, actually I'll have 4 rows and 4 columns, because this indicates the rows and the right one indicates the columns. Now, I have 4, but you'll notice that these again are 0 based, and so this is row number 0, row number 1, row number 2, and row number 3. Okay, so based on the index of the rows is here, and the columns, same thing. This is column 0, this is column 1, this is column 2, and this is column 3. So what we've got here is row 0, column 0, row 0, column 1, right? Row 1, column 1, row 2, column 1. It lists the third row, but because of the index, it's row 2, right? 0, 1, 2. Now, to read data here, or to get data out of this, we can assign values. And so notice, if I have created this ML rectangle array here, with basically 2 dimensions, and I set ML 2 equal to 7, that is going to go to the 1, 2 position and put a 7 into that array. Now keep in mind for this example, this 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 1, and so forth, this is not actually stored in the array. This is just my illustration of showing you how to address these various locations. So this index 2, comma 2 is not actually in here. And so then we can actually store data in these positions. Now, as you can tell, you can get a lot of data into one of these constructs, and you can get it out very quickly simply by looping. Now, does it become a little bit more of a challenge to manage this data? Yeah, absolutely it does. So just keep that in mind as you deal with these. But as you can tell, there's a lot of power and an awful lot of flexibility and a lot of room for storing and grabbing some data really quickly in a two-dimensional array. That's all we're going to do with them. I just wanted you to see and understand what they are. You can go find some code examples out there and dig a little deeper into this and MSDN or in some of the third-party books and so forth. But I wanted to bring it to your attention what a rectangular array is, or a two-dimensional array. So there you go. Go play with that when you get really bored and when life's looking, too simple for you.